Welcome everyone to the monthly DAO worker meeting. So the format, as a reminder, is a quick overview from each of the worker proposal leads in terms of what they have been up to. This is intended to be very quick, 5 minutes, kind of an update. You have some slides, you can show those too, but hopefully you can get through it fairly quickly. I think 30 minutes is what we're targeting. And then the remaining time is to discuss any other issues that anybody wants to bring up without a specific agenda. So with that, I can get started and walk through the my worker proposals real quick here. Let me share my screen. So as you know, I have 7 worker proposals: dashboard wrapping, contributors, block explorer, ledger app, Grafana, and steering committee. So dashboard, the most significant one, the KPIs are monthly fiat crypto handles, net profit, and uptime. You can see where we are, 2,700 fiat crypto handle registrations in January compared to 66 in December. Now this number has been inflated by some, I think, bots that made a bunch of registration towards the end of December. And also we've actually done less marketing in January than we did in December, had less registrations, I should say, for marketing. And net profit, because we spend less marketing dollars, actually improved. And we basically stayed right on budget. This is unique visitors and new dashboard accounts, kind of representing the same dynamic. This is more details on the fiat crypto handle registrations, now kind of breaking out, not reporting the partner registrations in here anymore. So this is only direct. So you can kind of see how many different registrations types we had, and the gross profit from that was $2,200. On the domain side, you can see kind of how this breaks out as well. The overall profit was $1,300. And this is the net profit KPI, kind of how it breaks down. $3,500 was the total net profit in January. Highlights, we've launched 1.8 release beginning of January, which was primarily backend and admin functionality enhancements, and 1.9 on the 26th, which included a new branding rollout, as well as improvements to landing page and shopping redesign. If you haven't had a chance to look at it, I encourage you to take a look at the dashboard in terms of how that experience looks now compared to what it looks before. We're kind of focusing on blending the fiat crypto handle and domain into a single purchase flow. Also rolled out event tracking in MailChimp. In February, we're focusing on streamlining registration and purchase flow. That's hopefully going to roll out next week or the week following. And working on redesigning some landing pages after purchase, the logged in kind. On the marketing side, not much there to update yet. I think Ash is still working on this slide, so we'll have that in our call next week. Wrapping, we finally have wrapping in place, so we started to report some of the KPIs in here, which is average daily volume of wrapped fiat tokens trading. In January, it was $2,400. No sales yet on any of the NFT exchanges. And I haven't started reporting the time to wrap yet, although that's fairly quick, and we were right on target. So obviously launched Uniswap trading of the WFIO token, and OpenSea collection is now enhanced, and that's the highlights. Contributor worker proposal. KPIs are paid contributors, which are the same. Contributor satisfaction, we haven't done a survey yet since September, and uptime, and those are kind of pretty much in line, and we are on budget. No major activity there. Block explorers, KPIs are how many we have, which is still have 2, and the uptime on the EOS Authority one, which is 100%. We're still on budget, actually under budget in January, as we were the last few months, because Blocks was deferring a big portion of their payment. Now, we did actually get them to reduce the payment from 5K to 1K going forward, as opposed to deferral. So previously it was just you pay us 1K, but you still owe us 4K. Starting next month, it will actually be 1K payment. So it's a significant reduction of the spend for the foundation. Ledger app is not much happening there. Its KPIs are, it's out there, and how many percentage of on-chain actions that are supported in Ledger, which is still only send. We did submit the Ledger support, the Ledger app 1.0 to Ledger in January. I have absolutely no control over how long it takes. We're kind of given an estimate from our vendor that could take about 2 months, but we'll see. So it's in progress. Grafana, not uptime is the only KPI, and we're on budget. Not much happening there. Kind of hoping to work on some new reports focusing on the income. That's kind of what I've been doing in February, actually. And steering committee, the 2 KPIs of foundation board satisfaction, which yet we have not put in place, and active worker proposals, which are roughly the same, and we are on budget and just basically completing ad hoc and regular meetings of the steering committee. So that's the quick update. I think we'll postpone questions till the end after we kind of go through all of them. I think the next one up would be Eric. Is Eric on?
Yep. Hey, Pablo.
Oh,
Hey, everyone.
hey.
Should I go ahead and share, Pablo, or is that, am I able to?
You should be able to share.
Okay. Gotcha. We can see that screen. Cool. So integration support. The main stuff we've been focusing on, so this is for January, was still on the FIO Gaming, where Adam's leading the charge, working with Micah and Wayne on what to do with the gaming. What Adam's been working on is really trying to pull together documentation on what an integration into a game might look like. I think this will really help as we go into other kind of BD opportunities for that, and try and put together something kind of hands-on and visible. Part of that would be something like a MetaKeep integration or a MetaOps type integration, but we're still waiting to hear. We got to figure out MetaKeep because they want some money for that integration. We're gonna have to make a decision on that, but that's obviously somewhat dependent on this Game 7 grant decision, which we're waiting on. It seems kind of based on the chatter in their channel that they haven't really figured it out yet on this first round of grants, and that other people are asking when that's going to be as well. They keep saying, oh, it's a couple weeks out. That was as of end of January. So I'm thinking it should be soon, but hopefully I'll ping them as well and just see if we can get some more information on that. And then on the SDK, we just did some work for dashboard. This was an old feature that actually some Edge implemented themselves, where you can actually put in multiple API endpoints and pool. So if one of them's down, which does happen on occasion within our network, it can automatically go to the next one. So it's not that terrible to do it by hand for these wallets, but it's nice to have kind of a pooling option. So now you'll be able to create an object that has multiple API endpoints, and we'll roll that out coming up here soon. That is it for integration support for the core chain. Yeah, January, we were under budget there for that one slightly. The January highlights, as Pablo mentioned, we rolled out the final pieces of the wrapping release, mainly associated with the oracles, which was the final kind of middleware piece to roll out after getting all the contracts up and running. And actually, Pablo, I think the work with wrapping's been great. And a lot of work on the dashboard's been awesome as well. So definitely get out there and use that if you have not. We did a hot fix for 281 that went out the door in December as well. This is where multiple unstakes were not working. Showed up with a few users, under a handful really. So it wasn't that widespread, but we felt a hot fix was needed for that. Internally, we completed FIPS 36, 37, and 46. Which a couple of 36 and 37 have to do with a lot of the permissioning and accounts pieces. And then the getter performance was a key one, where you've probably heard us talking in the past about the ability to even just download all the domains associated with the foundation account. Doesn't really work on our blocks because of some getter performance. Ed worked on that and actually found a pretty sleek fix for that we're going to roll out in the next release. That is a configurable option within the API nodes, which is nice as well. February focused, just continuing work on some other FIPS as well to complete those, figure out when we're going to bundle up the next release. So we actually it starts adding up, but we've got, what is that? 7, 8 FIPS that we can bundle up into release. There's another one in there that we may want to put in there that Pablo's been, might help with the dashboard piece as well, FIP 40. So that's a little bit larger FIP that we're looking at. And anything else in there? No, that's about it. That's it for me, Pablo.
Great. Thanks, Eric. David, you're up next.
I guess just in time. Mine will be really quick. There's really not huge changes from last month. The spend distribution, I could pull up the chart again, but it hasn't changed. There hasn't been meaningful changes in worker proposals. The spend distribution is the same. The runway for the project improved by several months, just quite simply because of the market uptick being the biggest driver, both in FIO tokens and non-FIO tokens. The foundation board has been reelected and put in place. So all the paperwork's been done and KYC and all that stuff. So the foundation does have its new board and a full board of 9 members. So that's really exciting. Last month, Binance sent a whole bunch of questions from the research department, which hadn't really reached out to our project, to the FIO project in a while. So myself and the worker proposal leads all had to work on that and put together a long document and set of answers to them. But that all seemed to go very smoothly. I think those are the main updates I have.
All right. Thanks, David. Emily, you're up next.
So, in terms of budget, no change from last month. We did have a slight decrease of the FIO crypto handle registrations from the previous month. So I think Opera had about 32,000 here in December, and then Opera had 29,000 here in June. And so, but we did see an increase in domain registrations, not by too much. And as mentioned in my update, most of these registrations came from Edge. In terms of the bugs and the deadline it takes for partners to complete the integrations, not much has changed. The revenue has dropped quite significantly. And this was, in my interpretation, due to the network fees. Pavo did mention during my monthly update that the data that I was pulling from might have been not frequently updated as I would have liked. So I will have to go and check that and make sure that this is an accurate number. Essentially, I was grabbing these from Aloha fees, and it turns out that they hadn't updated it in a while. In terms of plans that we are working on for the future, we are doing a mailing list to send out to potential and current partners. And this mailing list will be focused on talking about partner successes, essentially inspiring partners to expand their integrations and get a little bit more excited about FIO. We also have several domain campaigns planned out. So we do have an Altera campaign that came out today, and it's going to last for a week. So we'll see how that goes as an initial test. The campaigns right now are formatted as, in order to participate, you have to have a previous FIO domain. And if you don't, you just register one. And then you'll be entered to win a domain that was previously registered by my team. Then we'll be reaching out to old partners to see if they could either implement the onboarding process to help increase registrations or expand their integration. So for example, Garda could integrate domains. And then we'll also be testing out leaving the free FIO crypto handler registrations for marketing campaigns only. And that is it for my update.
Thank you, Emily. And Luke, you're up next.
Yeah, nothing to report here. We're still just making sure the board gets paid. It's 15,000 PO flat per board member. That payment is going to change as of February to be kind of the new board. So the 3 old board members that dropped off aren't going to get paid in February. And so I guess I need to adjust that budget up by 15,000 PO. I just thought of that just now. So I will put in a change proposal to bump that up a bit. We did just yesterday get the MSIG updated. So now the FIO treasury is updated by the full 9 board members. And we're still in the process of trying to update the Gnosis MSIG, which has most of our other treasury, non-FIO treasury. We have the new board members on, and we're in the process of trying to remove 3 of them, but 3 of the old 3 ones, but something's weird with Gnosis and it's failing. So we're working it through, and I'm just kind of slogging through that with the board, trying to get those signatures. And that's it for me.
All right. Thank you, Luke. And let's see who is next. Wayne.
All right, let me just pull up my screen share for a second. I'm gonna breeze through this one, not a deep dive. Let's see. All right. Everybody see my screen?
Yep.
All right, just quick update on what's happening in BD. In January, we had 3 integration partners finalize their MOUs. NFT domain blog, Altera, and OnChain. Different ones. Domain blog is more of a blogging media site. Altera is a game, and OnChain is a wallet focused on. Adil brought this one in out of Brazil, and they're doing a native integration. But these are all MOUs that have been sent out, and we're waiting on that we should be able to close in February. CryptoSwarm AI, Crypto Mesh, 30XC, just to give you an idea of some of these partners and the different types of projects they are. CryptoSwarm AI is an NFT project, membership based, that allow users to participate in what's called swarm sessions, helps with market predictions, things like that. So they've got a growing community. Crypto Mesh is another media news site. 30XYZ is an NFT platform that's launching. Animal Concerts is a metaverse concert platform, I guess you could say. They have partnered with a lot of big names in the music industry. Dill has brought that one in. That one should probably be signed this week. Blockchains.com is an identity protocol that wants to utilize FIO. Unit Network, which is a token generation network. Hi.com is an exchange. Gane, this is one we're particularly excited about.
It's a Web3 wallet.
What's that?
That's a Web3 wallet.
Web3 wallet too? Okay. All right. Gane is one that Mike and I met the team with Gane in Miami a couple weeks ago. They were in a pitch competition. I think Luke had mentioned that he met the guy last year prior to their project going live. They are a phone service provider currently in Mexico, expanding throughout Latin America and into the US later this year. They've already in a short period of time have amassed over 100,000 users. Every user has within their phone service also has a wallet. Remittances are going to be a big part of that wallet as well. And we spoke with Henry, the founder, around, and I had a call with him again yesterday, talking about the potential to utilize those crypto handles and domains for their users to simplify their wallet addresses. And as he onboards more users, where people are going to come to his project, not for the cryptocurrency wallet, that's going to be something that they're going to utilize while they're there, but mainly for the phone service and how they obtain the phone service, whereas he's allocating his marketing fees to pay for service. So users are able to top up their phone service by interacting with certain apps, watching certain ads, things like that. But he is incorporating a big portion into remittances are a big piece of what he sees potential in, and I see potential in as well, because I've always told people that remittances is going to be a big driver of crypto adoption. So that's a great one for us to be integrated in. We're going to finalize those deals before the end of the month. Candy Club, which is an online cryptocurrency gaming site, and then Gilded, which is a crypto accounting firm. All of those should be closed this month. Recent dashboard pages that are launched is just some ones that are in process. I need to update my images since we've got some new page designs. We're also preparing for subscription-based services with the MetaKeep integration. We've got to finalize some things around that, hoping to get that finalized this month. And then also I've brought out education consulting services that we're going to offer to companies and projects, Web2 companies come into the space to help market where FIO could be a trusted source. We're going to teach your business how to prepare for Web3, what are wallets, teach you the basics of how to get integrated into that. I've been spending a lot of time recently, just quiet time going through and building out course content, a lot of scripts, a lot of content put together for that. And then through that, where FIO plays a part is one, FIO would be the trusted resource that they're going to utilize to that they're going to learn how to integrate their business into the Web3 space. But also in those fees, they're going to be registering multi-year domains, possibly multiple of them, and crypto handles for all of their employees or customers, depending on their business model. So it should, the whole point is to, in essence, lead to more ways where we can get more registrations of domains, crypto handles, and drive more revenue. This is just an overview from last month of what I said would be the potential business Web3 education, preparation, onboarding services to onboard businesses into the Web3 space. NFT forgery prevention. I realize I forgot to take that text out there, but NFT forgery prevention, where we can work with it, whether it's NFT artists or NFT platforms, to teach the users how to sign NFTs, which should, in essence, prompt more creators to register their own domains, register their own crypto handles, and start signing their NFTs. As we know, there's not a lot of revenue from signing NFTs, but the setup process where they register domains, register handles should generate quite a bit of hype. And then also creating a crypto basics education white label service where we create some basic crypto educational content that we could offer to our partners. I foresee that as potentially a tool where it could be free with integration that we could offer. So my goal is to have a lot of this ready by the end of the month in February. I've been working on a lot of the scripts, the content, and going to start putting that into format and videos here towards the second half of the month. Real quick, Emily mentioned some of this. We're starting a partner success newsletter, so I'm not going to cover everything, but also we are also working with existing integration partners to optimize and add on to what they're doing. So I'm partnering with Emily and Gil and that team, and we're having these calls to lead with a revenue first approach to discuss why they would want to optimize their existing integrations, adding it to onboarding, adding a prop, a banner, or something where it's in front of their users and it's not hidden behind a tab where the user doesn't see it unless they click on the FIO token or they click on settings. So that's what we're going to be working on. And also showing those, like she mentioned, where Garda could add another revenue stream for them if they integrated domains as well. And if they integrated custom crypto handles on custom domains to where users can register additional handles as well. So all of those are things that are going to increase domain sales, increase FIO integrations. We've got existing relationships with these partners. We're obviously going to optimize and focus on the ones that are important first. As far as they've been the best, most willing to work with us, they have the most potential of what's already existing, and they're open to learning more. Some partners that she may have had difficulty dealing with to get the integrations done. Not saying we won't reach out to those, but we are prioritizing the ones that have the most potential first. And then the dashboard changes. There's been some dashboard improvements that should help facilitate our partners a better experience whenever they register, when they go to register crypto handles. We are hoping to see a little bit more optimization, which I've got to still have some conversations to where we can match this more to the main dashboard page where it gives a little bit more description, more incentive. That way, when a partner drives traffic to their partner dashboard page, they have a better chance of user registering crypto handles, registering custom domains. Definitely much better because when they put in a username here, it actually gives them suggestions of how to customize it. So we'll continue to work through that, but those should result in better close rates on our partners that drive traffic to their dashboard pages. BD footprint, last thing real quick, we're going to be at events coming up. We were at Quantum Miami at the end of last month. We're going to be at ETH Denver, NFT LA, NFT NYC, Consensus, Bitcoin 23. There's also one that's going to be added in here called the Breathe Convention, in which we're looking to partner Build a Valley with our integration partners to where we would get the booth at no cost, and our partners will get a discounted rate. We're looking to drive some awareness, potentially even tie it into our fast approaching million crypto handle registrations. So those are the events that are coming up. Very fruitful in terms of just the amount of integrations that are coming out of just our last event at the end of January. So we're going to continue to focus on making connections at those events. And that is all.
Thank you, Wayne. Ash?
Yep. I don't have anything visual to share. I'm still working on pulling together my January update, which will be a quarterly update. So it's taking a bit of time. That will be next Tuesday. If anybody wants to join us on the community calendar. But I'll just kind of try and quickly run through the list I have here. So over the last month, we've been heavily focused on pulling everything together to launch the announcement and promotion against domain wrapping, which went live on January 30th. Quite a few marketing activities went into that effort, press release and syndication, blog posts, social distribution, email campaigns. We also launched a test campaign with a company called Persona. They effectively have helped us launch a campaign via NFT airdrop into wallets that have a history of high engagement with domain names, high engagement and most recent engagement with domain names. Performance there is not where we would hope so far. We've only spent $500 with them, but we're in the process of trying to decide on next steps with that campaign, either for improvements. They sent over some recommendations this morning, or possibly pausing it. We're also still working on getting Twitter ads campaigns live with Cryptoken. We ran into a bit of an issue over the last week with having to get our account re-verified. But based on conversations over the last couple of days, hoping to have those campaigns launched. Be great by end of week. It's a little bit out of our control, but no later than early next week. Let's see, what else have we been working on? I think I've mentioned this already on some of our ad hoc calls, but we migrated to Google Analytics 4 on the site, which is a pretty strong analytics upgrade for us. Helps us implement cross-domain tracking, so we have a better view of true metrics, activity, and engagement across all of our subdomains. Dashboard being one of those subdomains, as an example, knowledge base, DevHub, etc. And we also implemented quite a few. This was probably closer in mid-January, quite a few site speed improvements. And our new marketing site is in very good standing in that regard at this point, in terms of page speed, and then also SEO structure. In terms of what we are focusing on right now, we're working on pulling together content and assets for wrapped FIO education and promotion. We are also moving into pulling together plans for starting to promote FIO domains actually on OpenSea. So we have a profile set up on our collection set up on OpenSea, and people have started to mint and list their domains for sale. So we'll be working on pulling together promotion of that actual collection. We are also working on pulling together a celebratory campaign as we start to get closer to 1 million FIO crypto handle registrations, that milestone. Hoping to get that launched over the next week or so. I think we're at 960,000 registrations last time I checked, give or take. So hoping to get that live over the coming weeks. We've also been working on, and this is kind of tied to wrapped FIO promotion a bit, working on getting ownership of and updating our CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko pages for wrapped FIO. Only a few more things on this list. Let's see. We are, in terms of, we've been really heavily focused on promoting both FIO crypto handle registrations and FIO domain sales in the dashboard over the last 2 months. One of the challenges that we are running into is that, the first few months, if we include November as well, we were seeing some pretty decent traction in terms of registrations and, subsequent revenue. At this point, I think we are struggling with, sustaining or generating or achieving meaningful reach outside of our already established audience, be that our community or, our social audience, social network. And I think we're starting to hit a point of diminishing returns against that audience. So we're revisiting our marketing strategy a bit for the dashboard to really, I guess, rethink how we can expand our reach in a way that, onboards new users through to some sort of meaningful revenue. So as a part of that, I think Twitter ads, getting those campaigns live will help, but we're also, exploring or revisiting other paid options. As an example, opportunities with CoinMarketCap, with Binance, et cetera, sponsored posts, because, I think we're a bit stuck in our own echo chamber right now. So that is also in progress. Couple final pieces. Let's see, we're working on transitioning the knowledge base over to the website. And we were originally working on transitioning our blog over to the website as well, but we are now rethinking the best strategy there. There are a lot of considerations when it comes to how best to execute against that process. We have, couple years worth of content on our Medium, and that we wouldn't want to delete it because that would create a lot of dead links throughout our social ecosystem, if you will. But at the same time, if we just republish it on our blog, we run into duplicative content violations on the SEO side. So we're rethinking the best strategy for that transition. And in the meantime, we'll be prioritizing moving the content from the knowledge base over to the blog, which hopefully it's going to take a few weeks. Probably end of February is a good target for that. I think that is everything. Katie, I'm not sure if there's anything I missed that you would like to add, but that's everything I have on my list.
No, I think you covered it well.
All right, thank you, Ash. And last one on the list is a brand new worker proposal that just started on the 1st of February. So I'm not sure how much of an update do you have, Adil, but if you do, here's your opportunity.
Yeah, no, not much because we just started. So we're building first, like our list of affiliate marketers to target. And also we did something very creative. We created a WhatsApp group and a LinkedIn, because WhatsApp is like what people use here, or with 161 companies, different like marketing managers, CEOs and everything to promote each other. So today we launched the first educational video, I think 1 hour ago. And the video is already shared by our friends in there. So we're building, community between different companies here. And I think exposure wise, it will be very beneficial. We just started, as I said, first educational video just dropped an hour ago. They already shared it and we see how it will perform. I'll tell you guys on Wednesday, the 15th, how it's the progress, but I'm very confident it will be great.
All right, thank you, Adil. And that concludes the rapid fire review of all the worker proposals out there. And now let's open it up to any questions. No questions?
I have a question that's not about the work proposal reviews, but one of our partners asked for a security audit. Do you know where we could get that? Is there a document somewhere?
Contract audit, Emily?
They said security audit, so whatever you interpret that, I'm sure is fine.
Yeah, I can probably help you with that.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. And then also second question, I'm assuming Theo has a contract address as well. Is that also part of the security audit or the contract audit.
Who has that?
Yeah, what? We have a couple of different contract audits on the FIO side and the Polygon side. The actual
Okay.
contract name on FIO is FIO.token. So the security review would be for that.
Okay,
I think we have
awesome.
it.
Thank you so much.
I guess just a general question, going back to my comment on this call, maybe just a little bit confused, and also in consideration of, the mounting pressure to, be cognizant and judicious with our budget. Luke raised a good point that we have the deeper dives that happen each month and quarter for each of the worker proposals. So I'm wondering if from a formatting perspective and in consideration and respect of everyone's time, as well as I think if we assigned a dollar amount to how much 90 minutes of every person's time on here, we'd be well over $1,000 for FIO right now. If it would be better to have the worker proposal leads just submit their updates in an aggregated place or somewhere in Confluence that can be seen and questions can be asked there publicly, transparently as well, as opposed to this 90-minute call that I think probably costs everybody a lot of money and time.
Nobody's required to come to this call, and this call was just put back in place a few months ago at the request of a lot of people because not everybody has time to go to the in-depth updates. This is a way for the broad community to be able to get very, very rapid updates. But nobody has to attend this session. There's no requirements. So I personally think that the reigniting this has been a very positive thing to bring everybody together. Because it's the only time that there's opportunity to have, a broad set of those working on worker proposals together on a call.
I love the idea of getting together. I think that there is very real, tangible value there. I'm just thinking from a formatting perspective, if we're already doing the updates, they're recorded. People who may or may not be able to attend, but would like to, they can always, watch the recording, or they can see where it's linked to, what their updates are, and ask questions there. So this seems very duplicative to me.
Yeah, again, the reason this was done is because the vast majority of the workers don't have the time to listen to, what does it end up being, 8 1-hour, 45-minute monthly in-depth overviews on each worker proposal. They just don't. I mean, they have their jobs to do. And so the request from many of them was to have this session where in, 60 to 90 minutes, they can get a high level update of what's going on in each of the projects. And I mean, again, I'm open to comments from others, but I actually think this has been a constructive and positive session each month. But if others, they're good idea. Thanks, Pablo.
I could just guess for me, like Pavo went in the beginning and he has 7 different worker proposals and he went through them very rapidly, which I respect for time considerations, but at the same time, for me to hold questions, to even conceptualize, wrap my head around, be able to participate and feel like I'm adding value in response and feedback is, it feels like a moot point almost for me to be able to do. And I struggle to think I'm the only one that feels that way.
So the in-depth updates are open to everybody as well. Anybody who wants to go and has the interest and the time to spend the time on Pavo's in-depth update that he does once a month can go. They're all open. So attend it. You can sit through Pavo's in-depth update every month if you want to, and you can ask questions there. The purpose of this is most people can't do that in all the sessions, but they do want to sort of have a finger on the pulse of, hey, what's going on in each of these worker proposals at a high level. So that was the concept here. Again, I'm open to, thoughts from others. We can do a second poll. I see somebody just launched, I don't know if it was Pablo, somebody else launched a poll, and ask people the simple question: do you find these sessions valuable? Yes or no? Or should they continue? Yes or no? We could do a quick poll here and see what people think.
I'd also like to add that there are a couple worker proposal leads that already put their content on Confluence. So I think Eric, myself, and Pavo put our content on the monthly updates on Confluence. So everyone's, you're happy to comment if you want to. I think there are a couple other leads who haven't done so yet, but that's already at least done by some of the leads. So feel free to comment on there asynchronously.
I'd be
And
willing
Paul,
to do that with mine too, but maybe Emily, if you can give me I'll set up a call if you could help me get set up on that. I'll put mine there too.
and Paul is underway. So I see 12 of 17 have already responded. So last call, if you want to respond to those two questions have been asked, here's your chance.
The second question, I want to make sure I understood it correctly. Does that mean, do you want to continue these types of monthly updates? Is that what the second question is asking?
No, it's specifically related to the rapid worker proposal updates. They're part of the first part of this meeting, right?
Got it. Okay, yeah, should those continue to be
Yeah.
part of the meeting? Got it. Okay, yeah.
My internet's cutting in and out a bit, so hopefully this will come through. Another point I want to mention is that I've been in organizations that did weekly Friday reports where you had to kind of document what you did, and it ended up becoming a big frustration for the team. And this is like in the movie Office, where it's like the Office, where it's like the TPS reports and things like that. So I personally prefer these kind of one-off, quick updates every month, because you don't have to spend a bunch of time documenting a bunch of stuff that maybe nobody will read anyway. So I kind of prefer this approach. And would it be nice to have it all one place? I think so, but the effort required to do that may not be worth the benefit when, again, we can go to each group and read what they're doing, usually on Confluence as it is.
All right.
Basically, I like the autonomy. I like the autonomy of each group to kind of do what they want, basically.
All right. Thanks, Luke. So let me post the poll. And looks like questions should definitely be asked at the end of all the updates, and we should continue doing the rapid worker proposal updates in the call overwhelmingly on both.
Oh yeah, I misunderstood the second question. I thought that was, should we sum everything in Confluence? That's why I gave a no. Otherwise, it would have been a yes as well.
One more shift from no to yes. Yeah, well, I think we have our answer on this, so seems like we continue in this format, at least for now. Seems like it's what a vast majority want.
All right. Any other questions regarding any of the worker proposals or anything else related to the DAO?
Curious who's going to be at Denver. Wayne, did you say you'll be out there, Wayne? Oh, great.
Yep.
I'll be there.
I think I'll be there too.
Okay, awesome. Ash, Micah, cool.
We should maybe try and organize a time for, field related folks to get together, since we'd be out of towners here as well. I mean, I don't get to see Wayne very often. It'd be kind of cool to grab a beer, just to go and hang out for an hour somewhere.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I may be out there as well.
Who was that? Who just spoke?
Oh, it's GP.
Oh, cool. Yeah, so let's definitely somebody wants to take the lead and sort of coordinating that, but let's ideally, not necessarily at ETH Denver itself. That would be a nightmare, but somewhere not far away and some place where we can grab a beer or something. It'd be very cool.
Cool. Definitely.
I have a question have we discussed whether the board is going to have a consistent meeting, and is that something that the board has to decide? Or because I don't know, it's been quite a long process, and I personally would love to see a consistent board meeting, just to feel like the board is a little bit more active than they previously were.
So the short answer is yes, it is completely up to them. I do plan here very soon to set out an email to the new board, now that they're all officially appointed, suggesting the scheduling of a meeting, which will probably be end of February, beginning of March, just because you have to schedule pretty far out, to cover a couple different topics, of which one will be that, saying, hey guys, you need to decide how often do you want to meet. I do think that we'll have a more engaged board, just given the change and who's on it now. So But at the end of the day, it is up to them how often they meet, so that'll be one of the topics I'll put on the proposed agenda for them. Meetings are challenging for them. They're even more challenging now because of the time zones. There is no good time. There's always going to be one or a few of them, at least one, and in most times it's going to be a few where the time for the meeting sucks. We've got Australia, Europe, obviously, North America, Asia, we got Korea. I mean, we're covering the globe, which is cool, but it makes live meetings really tough.
That makes sense.
Are there specific things that you'd want the board to be engaged with that would come out of those meetings? I think that would be really helpful information to communicate to them.
I had no particular thoughts. I just felt like a regular board meeting would be helpful. I also think some of the things that David mentioned last time regarding, a steering committee review of some sorts would be useful. And if the board, had a regular, review of the steering committee members, that would be, pretty helpful. And I think that would also help to encourage some change at some point. So I think that would be something that I feel like would be important for the board to review.
Yeah, that's a great point. I think kind of the two main things the board is kind of in charge of is, signing MSIGs to make sure people get paid and reviewing the budget and exactly that, like the steering committee people. So yeah, great idea. I don't know if my connection's working better or not, but I left a chat message. Damien too, who I mentioned, I think in previous meetings, mainly more so in the steering committee meetings, has met with a couple team members just to try to be available and potentially provide a proposal if we need someone who can kind of do conflict resolution or more like HR type interpersonal, departmental communication improvements, those kind of things, and just like essentially also dealing with any potential risks to the organization from a legal perspective. And so I just wanted to remind the team that he's been willing to have some kind of preliminary discussions to kind of decide whether that proposal would make sense for him to submit. His initial findings was that he was a little concerned about some legal exposure potentially that the organization may have, and suggestions to make improved policies and procedures so that it's very clear as far as any questions that come up in terms of how we handle certain situations or how the team members interact with each other and different things like that. We can always just point right to the protocol, right to the procedure, and so it's just very clear to everyone. So he has made some kind of early suggestions already, just on a brief call I had with him. But I just want to remind everyone that's an opportunity if you want to take advantage of it.
I just want to say that talking with him, in my experience, was tremendously helpful. This is just my personal opinion. I don't know if others have also spoken to him. Just want to testify to that. That's all. And thank you, Luke, for setting that up for all of us.
Yeah, for real. Thank you.
All right, anything else? If nothing else, thanks so much, everyone, and see you next month.
Bye, everyone.
See you.
Bye.
You.
Bye-bye.